The Democratic Party is delusional. They're pretending that black people are still happy with them. That all the anger and frustration with the Democratic Party has not boiled over. Some of them are pretending that this is business as usual. And things are looking good for Joe.
Let's talk about voters in South Carolina, your constituents there, and the comparison from 2020, the exit polls that we have, versus the latest polling on the job approval. There's a pretty big disparity there. Exit polls show in 2020, President Biden won 90% of black votes in South Carolina. His job approval in a CNN poll out this week is now at 63% among black voters. I don't know that anybody expects him to win the state in the general, but what's your assessment of this drop-off in approval or support for the president among black voters?
Well, Victor, I have been puzzled by all of this polling because I do a lot of polling. You mentioned Mississippi earlier. I spent the weekend before last 2, maybe 3 days in Mississippi. I've been in other states as well, on my way to Virginia on Sunday, tomorrow, or Monday. And I'm not getting that. I go throughout South Carolina all the time. Last weekend, I was in Charleston, in Columbia, in Orangeburg. I'm not getting that. So I don't know what's going on with this polling, but I guarantee you.
What are you getting?
I'm getting that African Americans are very pleased with this president and what he has done. We know how we are connecting every home and every business in South Carolina to the internet. We know that it's because of this infrastructure bill that he did. We know that seniors are now paying much less for their medicine, most especially for the negotiations going on with Medicare, the cap with $35 a month for insulin. We know who is responsible for all of that.
Well, Congressman,
so
let me just jump in here because one more thing I want to bring to you. And, nobody's going to challenge your connection to the people of South Carolina and Mississippi as you're going over there to help the Democratic candidate run for governor. But we've got a scientific poll that shows that there's been this drop off. And also, our John King was in Milwaukee this week speaking with black voters there. I want you to listen to what they say, as, of course, we know Wisconsin is crucial if the president is to be reelected.
Black people in general, I think, tend to be pretty loyal to the Democratic Party. And sometimes I wonder, just based on how that party has performed thus far for people of color, if we should continue to be.
If you're Joe Biden and you want to be reelected, he'd have a problem today, right?
Yes, he will. He'll have a big problem.
If it were just Biden and Trump, who would you vote for?
That's just a tough one.
So hearing that, is your suggestion that the president does not need to change what he's doing if you have these black voters who seem to be underwhelmed?
I don't think the president needs to change what he's doing. I think that those of us who are helping to run this campaign need to change what we're doing.
All right, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you, y'all. Yeah, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you. I want to give a shout out to Case Study QB, first of all. Thank you, Case Study QB, for bringing me this clip. This is very informative. Clyburn is delusional, and he's lying through his teeth. I went down to the Piggly Wiggly. I stopped by the gas station when I was in South Carolina, and I talked to 2 people when I was at the bathroom, and both of them. The whole 2 people was like, I like Joe. Yeah, then I picked up some fried fish from off the treacherous. And the lady who served us the fried fish, she said she didn't say nothing about Trump. She did not have on a Trump hat. So therefore, using my scientific analysis, I have determined that black people love Joe. And they're gonna name their babies Joe, Bidenet, and any black person that don't love him is stupid. They need to just go play in traffic. Because I've been doing stuff. well, Representative Clyburn, you do realize that there's actually people that have been on the ground in different states who have actually talked to people. And more than maybe two people at the shitter. And here goes a clip that's going to embarrass the hell out of you. Let me play it. Look, guys, for the record, in 5 of the 7 swing states, those swing states are the states, because there are certain states that always go Democrat or always go Republican. For instance, Texas always goes Republican, right? Arkansas always goes Republican. So New York always goes Democrat, and so does California. But there are other states, like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, that can go either way. In 5 of those states, Trump is beating the brakes off of Biden right now.
But here, the lead story of the New York Times, something that got a lot of Democrats talking yesterday. A lot of Democrats. Voters in 5 battleground states favor Trump over Biden.
All right, let's turn back to that. The latest New York Times Siena College survey, which shows Donald Trump leading President Joe Biden in 5 of 6 battleground states, won by then candidate Biden in the last election. If the election were held today, the poll shows registered voters in Arizona would go for Trump by 5 points, 49% to 44%. In Georgia, Trump's lead 6 points, 49% to 43%. In Michigan, Trump holds a 5-point advantage, 48 to 43. In Nevada, Trump leads Biden by 11 points, 52 to 41. And in Pennsylvania, Trump leads by 4 points, 48 to 44. The only battleground state Biden would retain, according to the poll, is Wisconsin. There, he leads Trump by 2 points, 47 to 45. Voters in those states also say they trust Trump more than Biden to handle most key issues. On the economy, Trump is favored by 22 points.
Look at that. I mean,
on immigration,
22 points. Joe Biden just was, just announcing GDP of over 4%.
Immigration, the lead is 12
below
points.
4%. It's pretty crazy.
On handling the Israel-Hamas war, Trump holds an 11-point edge over Biden.
In that case, of course, Donald Trump praising the terrorists, praising Hezbollah, and attacking Israel.
And on national security, Trump's lead is 12 points. Biden is favored by 9% on the issue of abortion.
That wasn't on the list of states that Clyburn said he went to. But I'm telling you, that's what the numbers say. In the Democratic Party, this is what they deserve because they let people like Clyburn lie. His job is to lie to us, to tell the entire world ain't nothing to worry about. His job is to gaslight us. And that's the thing, gaslighting black voters and telling them that if you don't like Joe Biden, there's something wrong with you. Now, something's wrong with Joe Biden and this administration and politics in general when you have black people in certain states across this country where we are 40, 50% of the homeless population when we're only 5, 6, 7% of the actual population of that city or that state. That's the problem, all right? When black women are dying at 3 times the rate of white women when giving childbirth. That's a problem. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. When black businesses still have not rebounded from the shutdowns. Black businesses we were already behind. Black businesses, so it wasn't like black businesses were thriving. It then came shutdowns with COVID-19. No, we were already disproportionately underfinanced, meaning we didn't get the bank loans like the white folks got. We didn't get the same support system that they have. We don't have the networks that have in families. You can go to your mom and say, Mom, I need $20,000 to keep the lights on. Like, we don't have that type of liquid wealth in our families, which is where a lot of folks start their businesses. Not all. Every white person does not have that, but I'm telling you, the disproportionate amount of financial bootstrapping that black people have had to endure, where the median black family's wealth is 8 times less than the median white family's wealth, that's the problem. When you got a party that we've been voting for the whole time, it's not like black folks were taking time off. We're still giving our votes 90% to the Democratic Party. What's going to change if we don't change? Because obviously it's not changing. And before my Republican friends get busy and they start saying, well, you need to be voting Republican, there was some Republican presidents in there During that time, that did not drastically change or did not fundamentally change our positioning. It did not change our wealth, even when Trump was there, even when Bush was there. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know that's what you want to say because you just want votes. You don't actually want black people to do better. You just want your guy to win, right? Because if you wanted black people to do better, you would understand why I advocate for programs for black people. Because if you're going to have programs that discriminated against us, but then you have a problem with us having programs that actually support us, I call you a racist.
He's not lying. Can't argue with that.
You might as well face it.
Might as well.
Yeah, if you weren't out there fighting for us against programs that discriminated against black people, and some still do, they're just not programs, it's called not getting hired. It's having the same qualifications as a white guy, but they hired a white guy over you. It's having a home and it not being appraised at the proper value because you black. Okay? So if you're not going to be out in the trenches fighting with us side by side, see, they don't like seeing the Tim Black get angry. They don't want Tim Black to rip a new... They don't want Tim Black to go all hands on deck. They don't want Tim Black to call out issues. They don't want Tim Black to be divisive, but they don't want to fight alongside Tim Black to make the country better so Tim Black ain't got a reason to get angry. They don't want Tim Black to get loud and call him out and be an issue and force the issue on race relations in this country, racial discrimination, institutional racism. But they don't want to get side by side with Tim Black and take on the powers that be. But they want to pick up their money, they want to pick up their checks, and they just want us to suffer quiet. So Jim Clyburn is one of those people that believes that somehow, if he just denies reality, enough people will go along with it like, hey, well, maybe I should do what Jim's saying. I mean, maybe we just need to keep doing the same thing we've been doing. I know we all dying slow, but we might as well just keep dying slow because we don't want to disturb the order of things. Now, if a car is sitting on your foot, move the car off your foot, dum-dum. Let's get the car off the ditch. Let's get the car off our foot. Let's get the boot off our back. For the record, folks, for all my people who are wondering, anything that Joe Biden did, he could have did 20 times more. He could have did a lot more than what he did. I don't want to hear this garbage about, oh, Joe Biden has this. Did he have any programs specifically targeted towards black people? Did the government, did the court strike down programs that he had specifically tailored to black Americans because he realized that black Americans were disproportionately impacted negatively by the shutdown? Did he have anything that focused on that? No, he didn't. Did the courts overturn any intentions that he had to do those things? Because the problems are evident, they're prevalent. We see the problems. We see the problems. Nah, he didn't. So don't tell me that Joe Biden did everything he could do. Because until there is a pushback nationally for him to stop helping the blacks, until there is some type of overturning of his executive orders that he went on a limb and did, don't tell me he did everything he could do. Joe Biden has not been thwarted in his pursuit of trying to make black people whole in America. Because Joe Biden has had no intentions of making black people whole in America, righting wrongs of the past, giving black folks the same bootstrap help that white folks were given in the 50s. So anyway, but what they want to do, guys, if they want to walk around delusional and pretend in their heads, la-da-da-da-da, that everything's fine and that black people are right there. The man just said he went from 90% to 67%. And Clyburn's solution is, I ain't worried about that. My checks still pay. My checks ain't gonna bounce. Joe wrote me a check, it's gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine. That's really what he's saying. Me and my family gonna be fine. I've lied enough to take care of all my family. Now the rest of you Negroes, good luck. And he should have ran out because that's really what Clyburn said. And that's really what a lot of politicians are truly about. I was talking to Ms. Black about this earlier today, and I was saying, one of the most frustrating parts about all of this is that there are... When white people call out black politicians, they easily label the black politicians, or they easily label the white people as racist. I'm thinking Kamala Harris. I'm thinking Jim Clyburn. I'm thinking Maxine Waters. I mean, yeah, these people are notable people, yeah, but have you looked at their districts? Have you looked at what's going on in South Carolina? Jim Clyburn been there forever. So has poverty and crime and everything else. So have bad schools. Underfunded this and underfunded that. Over-policed this and over-policed that. And the black folks just should be calling it out in the media are not calling it out. Why? Because they want to go to the parties. They want to be invited here. They don't want their business to take a hit if they are independent. Or if not, they work at a job that they don't want to lose and they want to keep on making their money. So we're in a catch-22. That's why black independent media is the only route we have. That's it. Because they can use these black faces in high spaces to rob us without traces. And the problem we have is everybody got a microphone, but not everybody's got a backbone. That's the problem. It's enjoyable to make fun and mock Clyburn, but there are people that believe him. There are people that believe that Trump will put you back in chains and that Biden is freeing you. But it's just a different set of chains. And until black people truly believe that, and I think more of us are waking up. This internet thing is a powerful, powerful tool. I have almost 45 million views on my channel. That's M's. So people are waking up and people are becoming more aware. And those aware people are telling other people and making them aware. And we need to keep up that momentum. Anything Joe Biden has done, he could have 10x that. And he still wouldn't scratch the surface on the damage he's done over the years to black Americans. And when you got people that have platforms, you know some of their names, I'm not going to name them. But when you have black people who have platforms and all they do is big him up and support him and tell us things could be worse with somebody else, that ain't solving the problem. They're only telling you that because they're financially straight. They are good. So that's all they care about. It's up to us to be more discerning. And I'm going to put the onus on the viewer for you to wake up. I'm giving you the information. I'm telling you, anything Joe Biden has done is only scratching the surface of what damage he's done. Very ironic that the guy who was the architect, the co-architect and builder of the mass incarceration system is now talking about how he wants to help. But he hasn't done the damage he's done. Not even close to it. Wow. So guys, let's hold him accountable. And when they say, why are you holding him accountable? Why are you going after Joe Biden? Why are you calling out Jim Clyburn? Why are you calling out legacy media, the corporate corrupt media? Why are you calling out people, black programs? We should be glad they got a platform. I'm just glad that these people have platforms. That's not enough. It's what you do with your platform. You give somebody a gun who's a bad guy with a gun, is not a good person to have a gun. I'm glad the black guy got a gun. Yeah, when he turns it and points it at you, now when he sticks you up with it, you understand what I'm saying? So just saying I'm glad the black person got a platform doesn't necessarily mean it's good for us. Doesn't mean it's how they use that platform. And if all they do is prop up the same lying, conniving, thieving, backstabbing, scheming politicians who put us in the ditch, then what good are they? Stop funding them and stop funding new independent media. All right. My name is Tim Black. This is Tim Black's Black Table, episode 31. It's in the can. I love you for watching. This will be going out in a clip, and I'm counting on you to share it.
You're watching the Black Digital Television Network. Become a subscriber for the best in Black thought on the internet. We keep it 100 just for you. And remember, it's a new day.
When we have black people who have platforms and all they do is big him up and support him and tell us things could be worse with somebody else, that ain't solving the problem.
Accept no imitations.